Good day, ladies and gentlemen. It's me, the one and only Agent Chambly, and I finally did it. I finally beat Elden Ring. That's right. After 6 months of rebuying the game, I finally finished it. It was a tough journey, but it's a journey that I won't forget. I have a lot to talk about with this game. This isn't going to be a straight up review. It's just my final thoughts on the game, which is, I guess it is kind of a review, but it's not going to be a full-fledged review. It just gives you my thoughts on what I liked and what I didn't like. So first off, the setting. Beautiful setting. The open world is amazing. I love the amount of exploring you can do. I love how open it is in the beginning. You can literally go basically anywhere you want to. I love that about this game. And I wish they had more games like that. I know there's certain games that limit you to a certain place where you can go, even though open world games. But I like that you can basically go anywhere you want to in this one. Yeah, it gives you that freedom, and I really like that. It intimidated me when I first played the game, and like I said before in my last video about Elden Ring, when I learned to love it, a video you should check out, by the way. It took I rushed the game, and it took all the joy out of it. And this time I took my time. I went region by region, like I said, and I found the maps, and I just took my time and explored. I found as many mini dungeons as possible. I'll cover those in a little bit, but I found as many bosses as I could. I found as many items as I could, even if there are items I weren't technically going to use. But it's good to know if I want to do a future playthrough of a different kind of build that, hey, I can use this item here that I found over there. I can use this item that I found over there. Hey, it'll work. Awesome, cool. And I found different types of enemies that I'd never seen in my first playthrough, and different worlds too. Like I said, the Altus Plateau, that place looks incredible, and I was so mesmerized by how that looked. And I knew about the Royal Capital, but seeing it, like, actually being there and seeing it on your own playthrough, it's amazing. It's probably the best looking area in the game. But I really dig the Altus Plateau as well. And I also saw the Volcano Manor, which is funny because I got there after I beat the game. And I'll cover that in just a second as well. But the mini dungeons, I do agree with a lot of the criticisms about the mini dungeons. They're all pretty samey. It's the basic shrine or the basic cave, and it's kind of like, it's nothing really special. And the boss fights aren't anything really special as well. But they're good if you want to get runes and special items. So it's a good place to level up. It's a good place to grind because you're going to be doing a lot of grinding in the game unless you really know what you're doing. But they are pretty samey, and I do agree with the criticisms that they could have did a better job. There could have been more. There could have been more variety with the little mini dungeons. As far as the legacy dungeons go, though, I love them, all of them. Stormvale, I forget the name of the school, but the school is my favorite one. It reminds me of Harry Potter. But the Royal Capital, that place is amazing. Volcano Manor, that place is amazing as well. Like I said, I found that after I finished the game, and I hate that I did that, but again, it goes to show you how big the game is, because I didn't know anything about it until after I finished the game. I was kind of looking at different people who played the game, looking at their playthroughs, see if there's anything I missed, and I see this Volcano Manor. I was like, oh wow. And on top of that, there's a kick-ass unique boss fight in the game where you fight this big serpent, and I didn't even know about that as well. And turns out that's my favorite fight in the game by far. But yes, the legacy dungeons, they're all incredible. As far as bosses are concerned, the serpent boss is my favorite. Also like Margot, all fun bosses as well. Radon kind of got on my nerves, but he's not too bad. Godfrey, the third to last boss, is he can be a bit of a pain, but once you figure him out, he's actually not too bad. It's not until he goes into a horror loop where it can kind of get pretty annoying with the slow motion and his throw attacks. They're pretty annoying. I'm not gonna lie. But I did fight a lot of side bosses, including Moog. I beat Moog, so I am free to do the DLC, which I am working on right now. And yes, I beat Melania. I beat the hardest boss in the game, and probably one of the most satisfying things I ever did in Elden Ring. It was, man. Oh, it probably took me about a few months to beat her because I played it, I fought her, I kept dying, then I gave the game a little bit of a break. And then maybe about a month later, I came back to it. Then I finally beat her. It was tough. She is as advertised. She is a tough ass boss, and that waterfowl dance is no joke. But I did learn how to dodge it completely. I'd had a few dodges where I didn't get hit at all. There's some dodges where I got hit just a little bit, but not too bad. And of course, in the beginning when I fought her, she did that to me. I got my ass shredded. It was bad. But I beat Melania, and it's funny to think about it too because I've seen people fight her before, and this was back when I had the biggest hate for Elden Ring. I see people fight her, and it's like, yeah, she was like a tough boss. I don't think I'll ever get to her because I don't really like this game. And to go from that to actually fighting her and beating her, what a turnaround. It was incredible. I'm really happy that I did fight her and beat her. And I told myself too that I'm not going to finish the game until I beat her, and I did. So I beat her. Then I go and fight Godfrey. He was pretty tough, but I did beat him. And then I fight the final boss, and this is where I will criticize quite a bit. Radagon, that boss fight is not too bad once you learn it. It can be a bit of a pain, but once you learn him, he's an okay boss. He can hit like a tank though, but I fought worse. I fought tougher bosses than him. Melania, I'm looking at you. But the Elden Beast boss is one of the worst boss fights I've ever fought, and that fight sucks. And I don't know how people managed to do it without the help of torrent, because they did put a patch in the game where you could use torrent. I used torrent in that fight. I don't care. I don't care if it's cheap or not. I don't give a fuck. I used him in that fight, and it made all the difference. Though there's some attacks it's hard to dodge when you use torrent, but other than that, that fight sucks. I hate that fight. And I really do hate is that you fight Radagon, you beat him, and then you go straight to the Elden Beast fight. And if you die, you gotta fight Radagon again. And it's like you can't go straight to the Elden Beast if you die. You have to fight. You have to fight two bosses. I hate that. It's annoying. But right now, I am on the DLC, the Shadow of the Erdtree DLC. It's kicking my ass, but I expected it. And I'm going about the DLC how I did the original game, the base game. Exploring region by region, just taking my time. I'm on a boss right now that's pretty tough. I don't know if it's the boss I should be fighting right now. If I do continue to struggle on that boss, I'm gonna go explore somewhere else and see if I can fight something easier, then go back to the boss I'm fighting now when I'm stronger. But I'm not getting frustrated with it. I'm just taking my time and exploring. But I am enjoying it. I can understand why people love it so much, and I'm trust me, I'm gonna get my $40 worth out of that DLC. But guys, that's all I really want to talk about. I finally beat Elden Ring. That's another Souls game off the list. There is, well, kind of two games. I did beat Sekiro, but I got the bad endings, and that ending you only play part what 2/3 if you get the bad ending, and it technically counts as beating the game, but I never beat the game completely. I never went through the full game and completed it. So I'm gonna do that. And there is one other Souls game that I never beaten, and that's Bloodborne, and I'm gonna work on that this year. It's on my 40 game list, and I'm going to beat it this year, and I'm going to talk about that whenever I beat it. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, y'all have a good day. Take care, be safe, and happy gaming.